He's only played 1 year in the league, and what'd he do? Well, he just played in the Pro Bowl. That's kind of cool. That means that you're good at what you do. Najee Harris joins us on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. You're a vet now, no longer rookie.
I'm a vet now?
You're a vet.
Is that how it works?
I think so, right? By definition. What was it like for you this year?
I mean, it was good, man. I learned a lot. My first year in the NFL was a challenge, which I love. I love challenges, and I'm always willing to take on the challenges. So, it was pretty good.
Okay, so from Bay Area to Bama to Western Pennsylvania.
Everywhere, man.
Okay, so but for just living, working, what was that experience like of a different part of the country, a different sort of culture, a different environment?
I think the biggest thing was the culture and the weather was the big difference. Alabama is humid as hell, bro. But it's, I actually learned a lot of Alabama, so it's so humid that I actually just, I was falling out of practices a lot. I couldn't do it. But like 2 years into it, I realized, like, it's actually the best place to train at in this weather. So, I kind of got adjusted to that. I'm still kind of struggling. And then I went to Pittsburgh when it's just cold as hell.
Yes.
It was actually pretty nice. But, when it gets around that time, it was pretty cold. Seeing the snow, making snowmans and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, man, to experience all types of aspects of, I never been out the country. So
Sure.
I'm thinking, to witness everything, in all types of states, seeing the culture, how everything is, how people move, how their cities is. It's pretty cool.
You play for Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
You got to play Ben Roethlisberger's last season. But Tomlin specifically and the Steelers, to go from the culture of winning in championships at Alabama to the culture at, they say the standard is the standard. Right, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, again, we're just outsiders, and we hear that. You experienced it. What is it? What does it mean? What has allowed that franchise and that coaching staff to consistently achieve better than most of the rest of the league?
Yeah, so what I mean by the standard is like, this is how a Steeler is supposed to play.
Right.
This is what it means to be a Steeler, This is the standard right here. So the standard is, never quit, you always got to fight through the end, fight for everything, nothing's given out here. So, this year, we had a lot of ups and downs, but we're a really young team where we're trying to get to the standard, on the offensive side. That's what I could speak for. So, just us just keep learning and keep getting more experience. Like you said, I guess I'm a veteran. So the rookies now being veterans.
Yeah, now you can call people young buck. You can use all the different words phrases. Hey, young buck.
Yeah, exactly. So, for all of us to gain more experience and keep willing to get better, then we're going to reach what the standard is. What was your other question?
that was it.
Yeah,
that was it. If I were to tell you that the Cincinnati Bengals would be playing in the Super Bowl, you played against them twice, they're in their division, what would your reaction have been?
Man, well, football, you don't know this is like the most uncertain sport ever. You could say at the beginning of the year, okay, it's going to be the Buccaneers again and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
You could say it's going to be the Bills and the Patriots, whatever. But, there's always just that one team where they come from. What makes this Bengals so good is, they got good receivers, good running backs, good quarterback, defense make plays. But it's just that they're really young. They're really young and good, and they all play together.
But when you walked out the field after playing the Bengals, did you go like, man, that team was good, or like what was the you played against them? Compare that to like when you played the Chiefs. You guys played the Chiefs,
Yeah, so they got a really explosive offense.
Yes.
But, of course I'm going to walk up and say
look, if I were to tell you that they would hold the Chiefs to 3 points in the second half, both times they played them, and Tyreek Hill was healthy, Travis Kelce was healthy, right? And they had Pat Mahomes. What happened to Mahomes in the second half of that game? I'd never seen him play like that in the NFL, especially in the playoffs.
Everybody has their day, man. He's not a bad player. I'll tell you that much.
No, he's a great player.
I'll tell you that. But, they just make the plays at the right moments. With us, they had a pretty good team. They're so well balanced on offense, both offense and defense. But their D line's very underrated.
Yes,
I feel like Hendrickson's a good ass player. They got good secondaries. They got good backers who's like just willing to do the right things. So. They're a really good team. It's hard to say they're not a good team.
Sure.
Look where they at. Look where we at. They're a really good team. So, shout out to the Bengals and everybody over there.
You guys played in SoFi, of course, played against the Chargers. You guys had to come back late. That was an exciting game. I'm a Charger guy, so to watch that, I was dying.
Hey, Justin Herbert here, man. He's the dude, man. He's the truth for sure.
He is the truth. What's that palace like though? You played in a ton of places. What's SoFi like?
SoFi, probably the best two places I played at was Minnesota and SoFi. SoFi is nice, man. Especially when they did the little Chargers thing, all their appearances coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, the lightning bolts.
That stuff was dope.
I was there. They played the Raiders, and there was actually lightning outside the building, and that was like
Wait, hold up, what?
Well, there's a thunderstorm.
Well, no, I think that's too crazy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I might want to get inside right there because we run a lot of metal. But you know what I mean?
Well, they delayed the game. I don't know if you remember. There was Monday Night Football. They delayed the game because of the lightning storm. And
wait, was that for us to get in the playoffs? Because if they tied,
no, that was the first one.
Oh, okay.
That was the second one was in Vegas.
Okay.
That was the crazy game. Okay. So perfect segue. Perfect segue. You're watching that game. What is that?
Man.
What is that experience like of watching the game where you're like, what if they misses this field goal? They're going to tie this thing, and we're not going to.
Exactly.
Because after you guys won your last regular season game, it was on. You're going to the playoffs. What's the chance that somebody ties?
What's the chance of somebody ties?
What was that like for you to watch?
I watched.
Where were you?
So we had our game. You know what I mean? So bang, that happened. We got back. I was watching. It was like there was about 2 touchdowns. The Raiders, I think.
Yeah. Are you at home?
Yeah, I'm at Pittsburgh. Yeah.
No,
Pittsburgh.
but at your house.
Yeah, I'm at my house. Yeah.
Oh, you're not like at a sports bar with some boys?
No, hell no. I was at my house chilling, boy.
Okay.
After the game, what?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
No, I go home and chill.
Okay.
So I suddenly get up by 2 touchdowns. I went upstairs, called it a day. But my phone blowing up. I'm like, what the hell, bruh? Bruh, go downstairs right now and watch the game. I'm like, what? Bruh, go downstairs right now and watch the game. I go downstairs, man. Goddamn tied up. And then I'm like, you know, if I think it was a Chargers head coach, if he didn't call a timeout, I think it would have been a tie.
I don't think so.
I think it would have been a tie.
The Chargers. They supposedly they felt like they got better. You know, they subbed in their better run stopping defensive lineman.
That's why they called a timeout?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I would have let it play out because it was working in your favor. Like, because if they would have tied, then they both would have went in.
Yes, and you would have been home.
You know, I'm not the coach, but hey, you know, if it was me, I would just let me see what they doing here. And I would have chilled. Let me see. But you know, he's a head coach. He know what he's doing. I don't. I'm just a player.
Najee Harris joining us here on the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Okay, you're here representing the American Cancer Society. I think a lot of people, because of your immense amount of success in college, know at least a portion of your personal story. But what is it like for you to receive the rightful respect for your personal journey and your professional journey, right? It ain't just that your personal journey is great. Like, you're a Pro Bowler. You got drafted. You performed. All that, and represent the American Cancer Society. Yeah, man. I mean, it's big. You know, I raised the most money, but it's crazy to see. You know, I made a commercial with the American Cancer Society and raised the most money to give back to patients. But you know, it's crazy how, like, you know, my following or fan base. You know, it was a lot of people. I think it was like the most viewed one, and then you know, to see like my following, you know, or that, like, you know, believe me so much to like to. That hasn't resonated. You didn't know that? No, not at all. Sorry, not at all. Actually, so that's why I'm kind of like I'm more of amazed with the people who donated and for the American Cancer Society. I think this is just me. I think that because you're a Cali guy and you killed it at Bama, it's like you got 2 different regions of the country that cheer for you, right? Like California people are like, that's our guy, right? And when you're dominating college football and you get drafted, and now you throw in Western Pennsylvania, which is a complete, and Steeler Nation is gigantic. Nation is huge, but man. You throw in the Bama, California, and Steeler Nation, and that's why you have such a gigantic following. I didn't know. And you're actually pretty good at what you do. That like all of those things seem to be working well for you. Trust me, it surprised me. You know, it surprised me so much that like every time where like it's a turnout where I go somewhere and like I had something in Vegas. It was like a small little like event. We posted like 3 days, like a pop-up shop, and then like it was just a huge turnout. I'm like, man, like people really like support me. Yes. You know, I mean, it's crazy. So you know, I'm always grateful for the American Cancer Society to help me, you know, partner with me to help do this. You know, if they need anything else, I'm always here. So, you know, I mean, thank you for the American Cancer Society and for the people who donated and all the things you've done for your home area of Antioch and Oakland, California. It's absolutely awesome stuff. Congrats on year 1. Can't wait to see you year 2. Thanks for being our guest. Thank you, man. Appreciate it so much. Pleasure's mine. That's the great Najee Harris joining us on the Doug Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio.